Alright, welcome back to Bank Scott Traders Hub. Yes, apologies for the delay. I had to fix some things here and to be able to start today's session. Yes, of course, another apology for last week. Last week was a crazy week. We had challenges of power, and of course then there's another day where I was a bit busy. I couldn't make it to the analysis and didn't want to give you the excuse. So yeah, that's how the whole week went, and I believe today we're going to have a good time. Let's start the week anticipating, I mean, with a lot of enthusiasm to make this money. All right, without any further ado, let's pray and get started. Father, we give you praise, we give you the honor and the glory. Thank you for today. Thank you for your goodness. Thank you for that we are back here, ready to check through the markets. And we know that you're always with us as usual, Lord. You are always with us, even as we embark onto this session to make this money. Thank you for the great market insights that you're giving us. Thank you for the perfect strategy that you're going to enable us to look into and use for great profits and for great risk management. We give you praise for the profits that we're making today and for the profits that we're making this week. And so far we say thank you for the profits that we've made so far this month. We give you praise, we love you. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. All right, let's now head over to Crash 500. You guys know the drill. Without any wasting time. wastage of time. All right, so crash 500, you guys know where we stopped at on Tuesday, I believe. On Tuesday, just a minute. Okay, so yeah, on Tuesday we this is M15. Let's go to H1. So was it Tuesday or was it Wednesday? I don't even remember. Let me see. This is Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. So I think it was Wednesday. I don't know. I think it was Wednesday. So what happened? We were looking for buys, and actually I'm still in that buy. I'm still holding this buy. I entered this buy on, when was this? Let me see history. This is Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. I entered this buy on Wednesday. I entered this buy on Wednesday. Up to now I'm still holding it. I'm still holding this buy, but I think it's time to get out. Let me see. I think it is time to get out. Remember, we were anticipating a heads and shoulder right here on H1, and we took it. That was our first TP. Then it went. Then when it came to H4, you can see where it was. We were again anticipating another change of character on H4 again. This was on H1, but then this is H4 and daily time frame. Let me show you the one on H4. This is our left shoulder, this is our right shoulder, and this is our head, meaning this is an inverted heads and shoulder. So we were anticipating buys to continue according to H4, same as daily time frame, seeing that as our left shoulder and then this as our right shoulder. Now continuing with the buys to take us all the way up. That's why I kept on holding this very buy. So apparently we broke that level, and now we can see price came to test that level yesterday. That was, yeah, the whole of yesterday it came for that kind of a sell, testing that level when it broke that level, which is called the neckline. And now we can clearly see that price is looking to continue with buys. In fact, I can easily, the only issue I'm seeing according to H4 is we are overbought. Even daily time frame, we should be now looking for sells according to what we see on CCI. Yep, that is a signal we are seeing. We should be looking for sells, but price is above our 10 MA on daily time frame. It is below our 10 MA currently on our H4 time frame. So that tells us that it's very tricky for us to continue with buys, but according to what I've shown you on H4, having this as our right shoulder looking for more buys, then you clearly know that we are still bullish. And of course, looking at price action, you will see that we see the trend that we are having: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's what we are doing. So I can't think of sales now, even before I see a reversal signal, probably on H4. So if I don't see a reversal signal, probably price breaking this level, then I cannot enter sales. I will still keep on looking for buys. And of course, looking at daily time frame, you realize we've been in an uptrend. We got that as a break of structure, yeah, Actually, one may say that was a change of character according to that previous lower high. One may say that, but we have to wait and see, because we are not market makers, and looking at what we are having here, price can eventually look for this sell, which may be a sell to try and mitigate this fair value gap right here. So we are looking for buys, but that doesn't mean that price cannot react back, cannot pull back. But I can only tell you to look for sells when price breaks this level right here on H4. If it fails to break it, know that we will actually keep on looking for buys, and we may eventually get in with another entry. So for now, no business. I'm not going to look for any business. In fact, I'm going to go to H1 and try to look for the way I may enter again, buys, because I see clearly that we are still bullish. And this is going to be a strong support level that we have. So for it to break it, it is going to take some time. This is a strong support level right here. All right, that's enough on Crash 500. We are still bullish, even though H4 says we are overbought, but we are still bullish. And why? Because the uptrend, we are still in an uptrend. The price action says we are still in an uptrend. Enough of that. Let's now rush to Boom 1000. Hey Levy, good morning. Boom 1000. So Boom 1000, let's see, that's H1. Let's go to H4. So we were looking for this on let's see, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Tuesday we were looking for this, and then we try to break out and continue with buys. Get in with buys. Why? Because by then this was seen as a strong support. No, not a strong support. We wanted a pullback there before we can come in with sales. Why? Because price had broken this level, this structure here. So this that we needed was a pullback to test there, and then come strongly to break this level. But it consolidated around that area there. It consolidated around this area here for 2 days, and then broke and continued with sales right there. So this pullback that we needed, that we were anticipating before we can get in with sales, did not happen. Could not happen. So right now we can delete everything that we are seeing here. And then do what? Look at today. So H4. So clearly we see sort of a structure right here according to H4. The price has given us that we can work with. That is a structure I think we may work with. Alright, so that's what I'm seeing, and most of the times I normally tell you such a structure tells you that price is continuing to sell. So without a doubt here I should be entering sales right there. I don't have to wait. this should be an entry for my sales right there according to H4. This is an entry according to H4 and H1. Let me go to M15C. Yes, yeah. So I would put my stop loss a little bit high there, but then hold my TP all the way down below. I'll be holding it. I'll be holding my TP all the way down here. That's what I'll be looking for. TP to take me down below. Now, let's first see if this was a break of structure. Yes, it was a break of structure right there. So it has to come again down here. So that's why this sell has to continue. Going to M15, yeah, that's a sell confirmed. M30, not yet, but it will confirm it. M5, a sell is on. So please, this is a good sell. Trading it within the trend lines right there. We are trading this within the trend lines, and you have to have your stop loss a little bit high, and you anticipate your 1 to 3 or your 1 to 2 TP. Your 1 to 2 would be very, so if you want, your first TP could be around there for your 1 to 2, your 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. But if that's not, if you want and you're like me, then you can go for the 1 to 3. I'm actually looking for a 1 to 4. I'm actually looking for like a 1 to 3.5. So if I'm looking for a 1 to 3, that would be around there. Want that? All right. So that's it. We've gone in with our 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, and we have locked it in. This is where your 1 to 2 is. Your 1 to 2 is right here, your first TP. All right. Let's now head over to, let me leave the 1 to 2 to keep around so that you'll be knowing when to take your profits. All right, that's it for Boom 1000. We have locked in our sales according to the structure that we have, but also according to M15. The sale is on according to M15. All right, let's now head over to Boom 500. Please don't risk a lot. Have your stop loss around there. Don't risk a lot, knowing that anything can happen. It can spike and eventually take us out like this kind of spike, but having seen the structure that we have from there, I believe we may see sells coming all the way down. The new H4 hasn't started. It is having 5 minutes remaining, so let's wait and see what happens. In fact, the new H4, when it starts, we may add another entry for the sell. If that pullback after the new H4 starts, if that pullback doesn't break out of this trend line, if that other pullback that is going to start at H1, if it fails to break that, trend line, then we can come in with another entry. So it's gonna happen. It may give us a week. The new H4 that will start may give us a week, and that week may come from there to give us that kind of a sell. So hold on if you haven't entered, and wait for the new H4 to start. But for us who have already entered, we'll be looking for the second entry around there if the H4 starts and gives us that kind of a spike for looking for a week. All right, that's it. Let's go to Boom 500. Boom 500. Now Boom 500, let's see. Alright, so we were looking for that move. It happened, but it happened after giving us a fake breakout down here. So let's go to H1 and see where we stopped at. So this is Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Okay, so it means Tuesday we were looking for that move. Then Wednesday it gave us a fake breakout on this structure here, and then went back inside, and that's when the buy move started and brought us back to hit that TP level. And now we have a breakout again. This time should be a breakout, a clear breakout. So let's go to H4. Yeah, that is the actual breakout. This was a fake breakout. That's the actual breakout. This fake breakout, I wanted it to actually come all the way down here and then we continue, but now we see the actual breakout. So let's look at that. Why has it stopped there? Let's go, let's use this crosshair. We don't have a break of structure according to H4. All right, it's weird, but it's understandable. Let's go to daily. It means we are starting sales. Whoa, this is gonna be some big time sales. These are going to be some big time sales. So this move no longer necessary. Let's now look at that daily. H4, we were waiting for H4 to start selling. On daily we wanted sales already. Weekly we need sales already. So now what is holding us? Confirmation, but we can, those who don't mind risking, no, you have to be careful. Yes, everything is showing us sales. Prices below our 10 MA on H1, but it's not yet below our 10 MA on H4, which is quite risky for us to make any decisions now. And from what we're seeing here, M15 is also confirming the sell there. Change of character, but still very tricky here to confirm that it's actually not a fake change of character. So it's gonna be one of those that I will have to wait and hold on. Probably I may wait for H4. It's the best thing to do, to wait for H4 to give us price below our 10 MA, to put price below our 10 MA. But if I see something like this on H1 and then it does this, it will be confirming H4, and that will be our entry according to H4. So for now, not really. I'm not going to risk it. Yes, price is below my 10 MA on H1, but it's still where it is on M15. It's quite risky to engage in a sell. We'd rather leave it. Yeah, so for now, no business. H4, new H4 has started. Yeah, remember we are overbought according to CCI and RSI signal down here. And we did not see a break of structure like I've already shown you here. It was not a break of structure, it was only the wicks, same as daily time frame. So yeah, a sell is evident, is likely to come through, but we have no entry yet. It's not yet confirmed on lower time frame, so that's why we am being skeptical to make any decisions there. All right, but for swing traders, yeah, we are likely to swing it all the way down here, and that would be some good deal for us. all the way actually here, not even here. We're likely to swing it all the way down here once we start a sell there. Once we start a sell there, and that means I have to probably, no, this remains. I was going to change, but that remains. All right, that's it on Boom 500. Let's hold on and see if we will be able to make that entry. Boom 1000, it hasn't spiked yet, so let's go to V25S. V25S. So volatility 25 1S, we wanted buys here. That was on Tuesday. We wanted buys here from there. What happened is it came for a fake breakout here, then the buys came through. Then on Wednesday it's supposed to come in with some sells down below here to even give us a pullback to grab this liquidity right here, but it had enough momentum to break out and continue with buys, just like the structure itself was already suggesting. All right, so this will be actually here. All right, so everything right here goes, we delete everything right here. All right, so let's go to H4. So what do we have? So price continued, and it's likely to actually continue all the way there. All the way there. That should be our target right about there. That should be our target. According to H4, we've just started a new H4, and the previous H4 was a strong buy. And looking at it, according to H1, that was a break, a change of character right there on H1, and we should have entered buys. Actually, if we had come a bit earlier, we should have made that buy entry. So we've not done that. Now what can we do? Do we wait for a pullback? Let's go to M15. Yes, we wait for a pullback and see if we can make that move. So any pullback coming down below is gonna be our entry for the buy, and it's happening very soon. This pullback is likely to happen in this H4 candle, even H1. So this pullback is happening. It is happening. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna probably wait for it on this OB. This is gonna be my entry right here. Can I put a limit order? I think I can. Let me put a limit order right on that OB there and wait for price to come and tap in and then give me that entry. I'm gonna enter this according to H1, not H4, not even M15. It's gonna be according to H1. All right, that will be a buy limit order put there to aim for that TP. This TP can take some good days, even a week, to reach, depending on the momentum that we are seeing currently in the market. It's very low. The momentum is quite low, but it can give it to us if the market movers increase the momentum. All right, so that's it. Let's hold on and wait for this kind of an entry on this OB. V75. So V75, let's see, H4. Did we enter here? Yeah, we made that sell on Tuesday. We made a buy, then we made a sell. Yeah, that was on Tuesday, I believe. So let's look at Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. Oh, that was on Thursday. I traded on Thursday, I think. Yeah, I traded. I think Thursday was power issue still. Yeah, let me see. Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So I made a buy there, and then later I sold it. So it was a two-way move. It was a two-way move. It was a two-way move. I bought it and sold it. Yeah. All right, so that is what happened on V75. So now let's talk about today. So what what do we see? Let's first go to H4. Delete these. All right, so remember we were looking for that move for the past 2 weeks, and it happened last week and reached that move. And as we clearly see here, we were anticipating continuation of sales to push us all the way down below here, but it did not. What we see is that it gave us a lower low according to H4 right here, and then came and tested that low, and meaning it has given us equal lows. According to daily, this is going to be seen as a double bottom, and that will be our clear indication of uptrend reversal. It's going to be a reversal for us to engage and take that money. The challenge we are having is we are having that as our neckline, or what you can say is a resistance, whatever you want to call it, right up there. So we need price to break that. How is it going to break it? Let's go to H1. So price is, reacting there a lot, but we've seen this equal highs, equal lows on H4 and double bottom on daily time frame. It's quite tricky. So nothing we can do unless price breaks this level. Price is above our 10 MA on H4, is below our 10 MA on daily time frame. It is above our 10 MA on H1. But looking at the previous candles on H1, that was a strong rejection coming in from sellers. Yeah, but before that we had already seen this change of character according to H1 coming in down here to confirm buys. So came here, this was a higher high, higher low, then failed to give us a higher high because this is not a breakout structure. It came down. So it's quite very tricky for us, even if we are using price action. It is quite tricky for us to engage in. Yesterday was a good move for this kind of a buy, having given us this change of character and confirmation of the reversal signal there. That would have been a good buy to take us all the way up there. That was yesterday. We don't trade Sundays, we don't trade Saturdays, so you know the drill. So what are we going to do? Alright, so this is going to be a thing. If price breaks this level, then it's going to continue down below and sell. But then if it fails and price goes above our 10 MA, probably on if price breaks that level, that will be That will be our entry also for the buys. For the sells, price has to break this level down here on M15. You can enter sells when price breaks this OB on M15, but you can only enter buys if price breaks this resistance level up here, that level there. That's when you can enter buys. Hope I'm not forgetting anything. According to M15 though, this would be considered as a break of structure. According to M15, this would be considered as a break of structure. According to M30, considered as a break of structure, but H1, that's not a break of structure. So what is it going to do? So we're going to actually follow M15. That means M15 is going to try and go back up because we have a break of structure there. So M15 is going to do this. And then if it fails to break that high, then it will continue with sells. That could be your sniper entry for sells. Having seen that it failed to break structure on H1, that tells you that it's likely going to come around there and then get in with sells. So we're likely to sell this asset today. We're likely to sell this asset today. So be ready. Be ready. That is on V75. All right, let's now head over to J50. J50. I hope my sound is clear, guys. J50. So J50, what happened? This was a crazy one, but I think we made some money. Let's bring it here. So let's see. Tuesday, really? Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. What did that? So we can enter buys. Did we? No, we did not. The buy came to that level that we wanted. Then sales came through again, just like we had anticipated, to there, and then kept on consolidating. So it was consolidating all the way for how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4 days. It was consolidating for 4 days, and then out of nowhere it broke that support level right there when we had anticipated buys. That was on Thursday, I think. Yeah, we never had a session, so all this has to move out. We have to delete everything that we have here. Everything. All right. All right, so let's now go to H4. Let's look at today. The price went all the way there, mitigated that fair value gap, then started to sell. When it started to sell, that's when we saw breakout, the breakout on that OB, on that support level. That was a break of structure, and now a breakout on support. And now we see a break of structure here, lower low, lower high. Now it gives us a break of structure. He hasn't given us a lower low yet, but it is on another support. It is on another support according to H4. So that is the support that we are talking about. Zoom out a bit. That is a support there that we are talking about. It is on that support. Going to daily time frame, however, going to daily time frame, we needed that, never happened. So we are on for the sell. We are seeing break of structures on both time frames. Let's go to weekly. Weekly, it's a pullback. Weekly time frame, zoom out a bit and bring it right there. So it is a pullback, having broken out there. So we are going to see buys from that trend line level. If I zoom in, you will see that that is a break of structure. But then the only issue that we have is that it gave us this move, this sell move, then went for the buy, failed to break structure, and we saw sales coming in strong. For 2 weeks the sales have been strong, and price is below our 10 MA, which tells us that sales are strong, and we may actually continue with sales. It's quite confusing. And challenging actually. So this, we are likely to trade it with it carefully. We cannot mess around. According to what we've just seen, we cannot mess around. We don't have that luxury with this asset now. Yes, H4, we see a break of structure, but it has reached that support level. That's why we are seeing it reaching oversold there. It's oversold. Daily time frame, it's already looking for sales. Why? Yes, we have a support here. It hasn't broken it. We cannot confirm. Actually we can't confirm a reversal since it has broken this level. That becomes our change of character right there. That is our change of character on daily time frame. Yeah. So meaning sales are very on. Sales are strongly on according to daily, but according to H1 and H4, buyers are coming in. Let's look at H4, M15. So M15 is sort of consolidating, so we cannot do anything. But according to daily time frame and weekly, we've seen sales are strongly moving ahead. We've reached even H4. They are actually showing us, H4 is also showing us sales strongly according to this break of structure, giving us looking for a new lower low right here on this support. But we cannot say until we have probably a pullback right here. This will be confirming our H4. This will be confirming our new lower low. So this would be anticipated like that, to look for a lower high up there and then continue with sales just according to H4 daily time frame and weekly. But according to H4, we need this pullback to confirm the lower low and give us a lower high. That would be the anticipation for the lower high up there. Alright, so go to H1. Can we enter that? Not yet. M30, not yet, but we clearly see the rejection coming in from buyers on that same level. So that tells us that anytime price is going to be above our 10 MA, and that will be enough to usher us into buys, and that buy will be just taking us around that level to look for a lower high according to H4. All right, I think that's it on J50. Let's go to J25. J25 has been one of those that I hardly trade nowadays because of its structure. The way it was last week, I hardly traded it at all, if for like now 2 or 3 weeks not trading it. All right, so let's see. J25, go to H4. Remember I told you that's a no-go for us when it broke that level and continued with buys. We wanted a fake pullback here to grab liquidity on this fair value gap and then continue with buys. Never happened, so we can delete it. Delete this, that, this, all this has to go. And the buys continued. We got a break of structure right here, break of structure, and then break of structure. Now we have a higher high, higher low right here, so it's still moving to go up. So according to price action, we should be seeing it continuing with buys. So let's go to H1. Exactly, H1 confirms that the buys should be continuing, looking at what we have on CCI here. Alright, so M15, what does M15 say? M15, I believe it's done retracing, so we should be getting in with buys. If price fails to break this, then we enter buys immediately. These buys will be taking us where? We'll be looking for your buys to take you up there. Trying to take out these highs. It will be coming to try to take out these highs. If it does take them out, then price will continue with an uptrend. But if it fails, then we'll be anticipating a reversal on H4. We'll be anticipating a reversal signal on H4 to try and bring us with this kind of a move that we've been waiting for some time. All right, yeah, that's it. I think that's it on J25. That's it on J25. Yeah, anything I'm missing here? No. The buy is on. The buy is on, but wait for price to be above our 10 MA on M15 for you to make that entry. Till then, don't rush into it, but the buy is gonna be on. J10, so our second last asset is J10. J10, let's see what happened. Okay, what were we looking for on Tuesday? So let's go to Tuesday. Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So Tuesday we never made any entries. Yeah, even Wednesday we were anticipating a heads and shoulder on Wednesday. I never entered it, but it happened. You can see that. Those who remember that, did I enter it? Not really. Yeah, but that is it. Those who were with us on Wednesday, you remember this structure here. It's a heads and shoulder. We have the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder, and this was our neckline, and price broke it perfectly. This was your entry right there on that second candle below our 10 MA. That was your entry there. In fact, you would have even used the M15 entry. You could have used the M15 entry and gone with that candle right there for the entry. That was the entry to grab that TP here. Why? This is the height of the head to the neckline, and that is your TP level, and you can see it hit it perfectly and then started to consolidate. All right, so enough of all this. We saw that. Now all this can go. Congrats to anyone who took that trade of that as a heads and shoulder. Now after hitting the TP, it consolidated for a day, half of Wednesday and half of Thursday. No, half of Thursday and half of of Friday, I believe. This is Saturday, Sunday, yeah, Friday, half of Thursday and half of Friday, and then it broke out. Right about there, it broke out and continued. You can see it tested that level after breaking out here, tested here, and then continued, starting to give us highs, new highs right there. So this can go. Now let's go to H4. What do we have here? Price is failing to give us a higher high. Price is still failing to give us a higher high. A new candle has started, H4 candle. Let's wait and see if it is going to break that high here. Let's go to H1. So all we need is price to break that. If it breaks that, then we know that it's going to continue with highs. Looking at M15, we are now overbought. That tells me that chances of it breaking this level, giving us a break of structure up there, they are very low according to what we are seeing on M15 and H4. We should be looking for sales on H4, but also according to M15, price is getting overbought, meaning sales are likely to come through anytime from now. So meaning we are going to see a sniper entry on J10. This is going to be a sniper entry anytime from now for us to enter sales and take us all the way down below. We are going to see a sniper entry if price reverses on M15. You need to wait for it. But if it does fail and breaks that level, then the buys will continue. Let's look at no. I doubt they are going to continue. I think we have ourselves a sniper entry on this level here. I believe we have a sniper entry on this level today. Just wait for the next H1 candle. I believe we're going to see ourselves entering a sniper entry for sales on J10. So mark that and just don't do anything. Just wait. We are looking for this sell. We are looking for that sell. If price fails to break that, that's why I've put that line. If price fails to break it, then we will get in with this sell. Alright, that's it. And if you get in with your sell, this will be your first TP around there. That will be your first TP right there. Alright, no, that will be your second TP. Your first TP is here. For intraday traders, that will be your first TP down here. Down there, that will be your first TP. Alright, let's now head over to the gold and we call it a day. Alright, so gold, what happened? Yeah, we knew that gold was still going, but over the week, that was when, let's see, that was on Friday, it gave us a choke on H1. That is a change of character, reversal signal, and we see price try to go to test it. After giving it to us, it tried to go back and test it. So let's go to H4. So we are on for a buy according to what we are seeing currently, because this has to come here and try to take this high out, but it is going to fail, and hopefully it will give us a down trend. But before I even consider that, we have our weak high there, meaning price is still very bullish. Why? Because this is our higher high, our current higher high. This is our higher low. So price can eventually break that high and continue with an uptrend. You need to understand that. We can only anticipate sales if this move to give us a new high fails to give it to us and actually reverses from that level to start a downtrend. So whatever the case is, we are looking for buys currently, not for so long, but the buy is on. So I need to delete everything right here. Delete. 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 All right, so let's see. H1. So price is above my 10 MA on gold. According to H1, according to M15, we clearly see some sort of consolidation. Price is failing to break that level, meaning it's a resistance up here. That's a resistance up there. So price is failing to break that. On the other hand, it is also failing to break this. So meaning we are having ourselves a what? A resistance. We're having ourselves sort of like a channel, if you want to call it that, or a consolidation area. Price is giving us that. That's what we are seeing currently. And we clearly see, in fact, let me delete this here, and then bring my line here. That's what we are seeing. So we know the price is going to break and go up there according to this structure, but also we know that price will eventually break and give us that to reach there. So it may give us a pullback once it gets up there and does this, and then later gives us that to push us to that level. So according to gold, I'm gonna be looking for buys here, yes, today, but I'm likely to see some sells in the next 30 or 15 minutes. In the next H1 candle, actually, we may look for this kind of pullback within this structure. Within this structure, we may, mark my words, we may, according to what I'm seeing on CCI, according to M15, right about there. It's reaching the retracement level on M15. So that's why it is likely to give me this pullback on M15. Then later we come in with buys, strong buys to break out and actually push us all the way up there. Remember, this buy can easily continue and take us all the way up there. But for now, that will be your first TP right there on that level. All right, I hope that is very clear for us to understand that the buy is still on, but it's not going to go for so long. We are likely to get to that trend line and then come in with a sell to push us all the way down below here. All right, that's it for today on gold. Let's now do a recap and we call it a day. Hope you guys had a great time with me. Let's do a recap. So we start with crash 500. I'm still in with a buy. I'm still holding that buy. Yeah, we are seeing price failing to break that, so it's still a bit crazy for us to do anything, but it's still in an uptrend. Yeah, so for it you have to be patient, but according to daily, I told you we are looking for this. We are likely to see this kind of move, having given us the left shoulder and the right shoulder right here. This should be the target that we are aiming at, taking this as a as an inverted heads and shoulder. Alright, this was our entry last week and still holding the buys right now. So boom 1000, the sell continued perfectly. It gave us a short pullback. That short spike never did anything, so this could have been your entry. Looking at H4, yeah, that should have been your entry to also get in and continue. I was anticipating a pullback again around there so that we can actually get in with a second entry, but nothing happened really. So our sell continued perfectly, so we are in profits. But now I want to remind you, down here we have a confluence area. That is a confluence area, so before it breaks it, it may actually give us that. So this is not yet done. It may first give us that, and once it gives us that, it may not even reach the trend line. It may come around there. So just hold on to add in another entry. Just hold on, because it may give us that kind of push when it reaches this confluence area on M15. Boom 500, yeah, that move is on according to H4. So yeah, we should have entered a sell, but it was quite tricky because that change of character was crazy for us to actually consider. But now it is now, you know, visible. It is very evident. And now we have a lower low, lower high. It's looking for a new lower low. So you know the drill. On M15 we are in a downtrend now. According to H1, however, it's not yet clear, so we need to wait for something like this for us to make that entry. So I'm not trading boom 500 now till I see a structure that I can work with. V25S, yeah, I put a limit order here. If I see a pullback coming here, then I'll be waiting for my limit order to be activated. We are looking for buys, on continuation of buys on V25S, having this as our change of character or reversal signal for the continuation of buys. V75, we are hoping for buys to get back up there, but there's a lot of rejection coming in from sellers, and of course little rejection coming in from buyers, but we have to wait and see if this actually is going to happen. The general trend should be a sell, but we need to be patient. We need to be patient. J50, we need a pullback. If that pullback doesn't happen, then you have a breakout already. Right there you can see we've already now started to see a breakout. The general trend is a sell, just like you saw. That was a breakout structure here, and now we need a pullback here to give us a new lower high so that we can enter sells again. But now we cannot enter any sells because it is already looking to give us a new lower low confirmation. So for now, no business. J25, yeah, it has reached that level. We should be getting in with buys. Yeah, I'm gonna enter my buy here, and I'll put my stop loss just below here, and I'll be aiming for that TP. This will be my first TP, that will be my second TP right there. Yeah, so I think that's it. This entry, one can say it's according to H1. One can say it's according to H1. Alright, so we've locked in our buys on V20, on Jump 25. It's been a while since I last traded it, so let's wait and see if it's gonna give us some money today. J10, yeah, we have a breakout, but then there's a week following, so this candle hasn't closed yet, so we have to wait for it to close. we have to wait for it to close. Remember, I told you if we see a breakout here, then we may actually continue with buys. But this was already oversold, overbought. M15, H1 not yet, but H4 we were looking for sales. So this H4 candle that started is the one that has pushed price to reach that previous high level. So if it breaks that previous high level, then we may consider buys. But if it fails to break that previous high, then sales will be coming in. So for me, I may tell you to actually wait for this current H4 to close. Yeah, but if this H1 closes above that high, then you may actually consider entering buys. Yeah, so for now, no business with this asset. Then lastly is gold. We are looking for that, and then we enter sales. So until then, no business. Yes, there's a resistance here holding price here, so we have to be also knowing that, but that is likely to be broken, to reach that trend line. So we need to be patient. We have to be patient with that. All right, that's a structure. We will be looking for buys. We'll be looking for sales, then buys. We'll first get in with sales, then we get in with buys later. So hold on. Only and only if it reacts there, but it can easily react there and break it and continue with buys. So mark my words, we may sell it. The general trend is a buy. Currently looking for buys to push us all the way up there, having reacted here to give us a higher low right here according to H4. So know that the general trend is still a buy trend. All right, that's it for today. Hope you guys had a great time. Please remember that the classes are still on, and even the Signal group is still available. You can always subscribe for the Signal platform, and you can always register for the class if you want to. Otherwise, I hope you guys had a great time with me, and we will be meeting again tomorrow, same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Have a nice Monday, a lovely day. Please don't push, don't overtrade, and don't get in with when your confirmations are not yet visible to you. You need to be patient and wait for such confirmations. Otherwise, hope we can make this money today. I hope the market moves the way we have anticipated and make this money. Please, the other thing is, don't try to trade all these assets. Don't try to trade this or all these other assets. Me personally, I don't trade all the assets. In a day, I can look for 1 or 2 assets to focus on and trade them. I don't trade all these assets at a go when I'm making the entries. Yeah, I don't do that. I look for 1 or 2 assets to focus on. Maximum is 3, but most of the times I trade 2 assets in a day. So you need to do also that. Even if right now, if I get another entry, I will enter one more. I will not enter a third or a fourth. No, I will enter one more trade, and that will be it. That will be enough to hit my daily target. So you need to understand that and don't overtrade. Let me wish you guys a good day. See you tomorrow, same time, 10:30 to 11:30. Bye bye.